your parents don't love you, and I would like to welcome you to our All Out 2022 predictions. I am your undisputed cultaholic heavyweight champion. I know what you're thinking. Bloody hell, Adam spent the big bucks. He's got Moby in. But what's happened to Moby's face? Has he been in some kind of house fire? No. It's just little Andrew Dingle. Now, a lot of people were saying on the video yesterday that it looks stupid because I'm a very big boy, right?
Yeah,
I'm 6'4", 6'5".
Yep.
And I was stood next to Tom and everybody's going, oh, bloody hell, Adam's really massive and everything. So I don't want that same problem today.
Thank you.
I've sorted you out with one of these to stand on.
To say you can sometimes be horrible, that's very kind of you. Let's get that out there. Stand on that.
Careful.
Are we ready?
Wonderful. That's better. Now your face is totally out of shot. So, these are our predictions. 1 belt on the line on Saturday, 1 belt on the line for All Out. You are competing for this little one.
Oh,
would you like to touch it?
Yes.
Nope.
Okay.
Let's get on with the predictions. There's like 14 matches. First of the 3 pre-show matches, we have got Eddie Kingston taking on Tomohiro Ishii in just a plain old singles match. Who you got and why?
Oh my god, this is going to be such a good fight, but I think I'm going to give it to Eddie Kingston in this one. I think we've had so many times over the last few months now where Kingston's been on the back foot. We had the big feud with Jericho and he even lost that in the barbed wire match too. So I think to get a little bit more momentum back behind Eddie Kingston, give him this win over the big beefy boy Ishii. Who are you going for?
Right, I'm taking politics into account here.
Yeah.
Eddie Kingston's just coming back off a suspension.
Indeed.
He's got the match on the pre-show. He should have obviously been on the main card, but he's there on the pre-show. Tony Khan apparently in that meeting was all like, hey, I'm not going to be a pushover. I think Kingston's going to come back and he's going to make Kingston lose this first one, and I think Kingston's going to be a bit more of a slow burn again. I
think that Tony Khan, right, Ishii pulls this zip down and it's actually just Tony Khan inside an Ishii suit and he's going to batter Eddie Kingston then. Oh, you've pulled me around on that one, but I'll stick with Eddie Kingston though. Yeah,
you stick with Eddie?
Yeah, I'll stick with Eddie.
Ishii for me.
Next up on the pre-show, we have Pac defending the All-Atlantic Championship against sort of more recently returned Kip Sabian. Who are you going to go for, Adam?
This is a tough one because I don't think Pac should be dropping that belt yet. And he's been defending it all over the shop as well. It's lovely to see. But Kip Sabian just coming back. I'm gonna. It's a punt, but I'm going to give it to Kip Sabian. I think it's going to be a screwy finish. I don't think it's going to be a clean one, but I don't like it when people come back, and Kip Sabian had been away for a long time, and then they lose their first big match. So yeah, I'm gonna take Kip on this one. I'm not sure, but you know, it's worth a punt.
I think you've absolutely nailed it on the head there. I'm going to go for Kip as well.
Oh yeah,
I actually am, because like you, I don't think Pac should lose it yet, but I can see Kip coming back over to the UK. We know that All Atlantic Championship is sort of defended all around the world, and I can see Kip coming back and just defending it on the UK Indies for a little while. I think that would be a really good thing for AEW too, if they're looking to come over to the UK and do their big show. I think it's a good representation to have. So yeah, I'm going to go for Kip Sabian. Like you, I don't like the fact that you bring someone back and then you just make them lose straight away. It just doesn't feel right. And I think if you want to build up Kip to be some like credible person, a credible wrestler within AEW, you got to give him a win and a championship as well.
And a championship as well.
Yeah.
Next up, the FTW Championship is on the line as Hook defends against Angelo Parker. Who have you got and why?
If I had my horrendous mane of hair still, Adam, I would brush it to the side and I would put you in a big old red rum lock, because
I think... see you try.
Well, I might
maybe
have
on
to stretch it. Maybe on the chair. Maybe just about on the chair. I'm going to go for Hook. I think it's going to be a squash win easy. Hook's just so dominant at the moment. I really don't see Angelo Parker taking it off him anytime soon. He's only just got the belt. He needs to, he needs to build it up for his daddy. Of all people, he needs to put respect on the belt, just like his daddy once did. So yeah, easy squash win for Hook in this one.
Yeah, agreed. What more do you say, really? Yeah. I mean, there are 3 pre-show matches. This will be the short one, probably in the middle. Break things up a little bit, but it's Hook. It's a Hook.
Oh, I get it. I thought you were just wiping gum.
That. That's yours, Hook. Handsome prick.
And so we move on to the main card, and we have the World Trios Championship Tournament Final for the AEW World Trios Championships. We have the Elite, who are absolutely, definitively going to be in the match, up against either the Dark Order or the Best Friends. Adam, who are you going for?
Right. Cast best friends aside. They're gone. They're gone because they're not making it, are they? Sorry, lads.
Yeah.
It is Dark Order versus the Elite, and I'm 50-50 on this. Totally. I think there are advantages to either team winning. I think Dark Order could do with a little bit of oomph.
Ooh.
But I think the Elite are the Elite.
Oh, that makes sense.
This is a bit of a coin toss in my head. I'm going to take the Elite. Kenny Omega is going to prove that he is 100% man and not 80% man or whatever it is.
And that's what makes you a man, doing this.
So I'm going to go for the Elite, but I'm really not sure. What's your thoughts on this?
I think it's a coin toss as well. Sorry, I need to be a man. I think it's a coin toss as well. However, I do think it's the Dark Order that are going to go through, especially after last night when we saw that Paige has stepped up to the challenge to be part of this match, or this tournament at least, and to see Hangman and Kenny come back together and face off after what transpired before that led to Kenny leaving for a little bit. Yeah, I think though there's a more compelling story to be had in terms of Kenny still playing on the injuries and still not being 100% the man that we all think he maybe is. And I think that lends itself well to perhaps them losing these championships, something that Tony Khan was kind of clamoring for when Kenny Omega came back for this to start happening. I feel like if you sort of take Kenny out of the equation and he kind of starts to doubt himself a little bit, there's more of a compelling storyline there. I think there's something to be had between Hangman and Kenny as well. Maybe Hangman brings that back out of Kenny Omega once again to get him back 100%, and then they can go off to face the undisputed Elite together. So we'll see what happens, but yes, I think for a surprise win, I really want to see the Dark Order pick this one up because they deserve it. Hangman deserves another belt around his waist, and yeah, I think there's more compelling storylines to be had.
You've done one of those things where you proper talk me round there.
Yeah?
I'm sticking with the Elite. I'm sticking with the Elite.
Stick with that one.
Next up, you got Bryan Danielson taking on Chris Jericho. Who have you got on mind?
Oh, the Lion Heart, right? The last survivor of the Heart Dungeon, can he eke out a win against the American Dragon? I don't think so. I think the American Dragon is going to pick up the win in this one. I think the defining factor is going to be Daniel Garcia. Last night on Dynamite, we saw Garcia backstage be like, look, I'm in your corner, Chris Jericho. I'm a part of the Jericho Appreciation Society. I'm in your corner. I'm not going to back down. You have my word, all right? And then we saw in the match between Hager and Danielson, we saw Jericho try to get a chair shot in on Bryan Danielson, but Garcia pulled the chair away from Jericho, and then he got the bloody knee in the face, didn't he? He got the knee in the face to Chris Jericho.
You're thinking what I'm thinking, BCC new member.
I think BCC new member. I think he's more than ready for it. I think he was supposed to be in the original incarnation of that group anyway, before Jericho was like, no, I want him in my group because I've got ideas for him. I think it's a nice natural progression. Get him away from that
Chris.
clown.
Thank
Get
you,
him
mate.
away from Chris Jericho. No, I think that's the storyline that's going to be told here. I think Garcia is going to help Danielson either win or stop Chris from cheating, so then Danielson can pick up the win, and then we get a new member in the Blackpool Combat Club. So I am saying Danielson to win, and then Garcia to join the BCC.
Very comprehensive there. I've got nothing to add to that at all.
Yeah?
No, genuinely, I think that's it. I think BCC are getting a new member. Maybe not tonight, but on Wednesday.
Yeah.
It's happening, isn't it? And he'll be where he should be.
Thank God.
Right.
Thank God. Next, we have the interim AEW Women's Championship match between Toni Storm, Hikaru Shida, Britt Baker, D.M.D, and Jamie Hayter. Who are you going for, Adam?
This has been really difficult.
Yeah.
Few of them had a go at it before.
They did.
I'm not sure, as much as I like her, that Jamie Hayter is ready. That leaves Toni Storm for me. Toni Storm would be a great women's champion in any promotion in the world. She's so bloody good. She's super over as well. I'm going Toni, but again, these are tough. These are really tough.
They're very tough. I'm going to go for maybe not the most predictable pick here.
You're not going Hayter,
I'm going to say Jamie Hayter picks up the win, and I think she gets the pin on Britt Baker as well. I keep coming back to storylines and sort of things being compelling. I think there is a more compelling storyline to be had rather than Toni picks up the belt and then pretty much just defends it until Thunder Rosa comes back, and then they have that match that they've been wanting to have for however long now. I think because Toni's so over right now, it necessarily doesn't harm her if she does not pick up the
And she doesn't have to get pinned?
And she doesn't have to get pinned, exactly.
Yep.
But
Talking me out of my prediction again,
yeah,
here we go.
Doing it again. But I think Jamie Hayter, there's something, like the women's roster at the moment, it feels like the same recycled people in like the top spot. We see it all the time. We see the same matchups, or we see someone get squashed, and it's like it becomes a little bit predictable, and it's a shame, really, that these women don't get enough time to develop on TV, and they don't get enough time to actually like show what they're capable of. And that's nothing on them at all. That's definitely
shame on Toni.
Yeah, shame on not Toni Storm, Toni Khan.
Yeah, Toni Khan. People might not want to say it, but yeah, I like blink and you'll miss the women on AEW Dynamite.
Absolutely.
And it's embarrassing. And now they're talking about launching a women's only show.
Yeah,
it's not the way to do it. Integrate them properly into the proper program.
It's not.
Sorry, I've gone off.
No, you haven't. I think
not the way,
Tony. You made a valid point. You made a valid point. So Jamie Hayter, I think, more compelling. You can get new challenges rising up and actually like being developed too. To finally, then they can also be in the title picture on a more like consistent basis as well. Jamie Hayter, I think she's got a lot to prove. She's very good.
She is very good.
And I would like to see something interesting and surprising happen.
It'd be great for her, wouldn't it?
It would be.
You know what? I'm not changing my pick, but I hope you're right.
Thank you. He's a good lad, this is.
Next up, six-man tag action as Wardlow joins FTR to take on the Motor City Machine Guns and Jay Lethal. Who have you got and why?
It's a big one. It's a big one, Adam. And would this have benefited more from it just being two singles matches, perhaps?
We need one more match on the card.
We do. Let's split them up. No, I'm actually going to go for the heels in this one. I'm going for Jay Lethal in the Motor City Machine Guns. And that is the reason why, in terms of, I know Jay Lethal wanted a rematch against Wardlow for the TNT Championship, and then it led to this six-man happening. So I think we get the heels winning, and then those two can break off and have their like final singles match for the title, and then we can finally have the match I think a lot of us have been waiting for, like an actual full-on 2-on-2 match between FTR and the Motor City Machine Guns too. So let's not forget we got Satnam Singh and Sanjay Dutt as well that could come to the aid of the heels too. And yeah, I think there's something more to be had from this. I don't think this is the final nail in the feud. I think we go off and break into those matches that we actually want to see happen. What about you?
Yeah, I think there's an argument to be made there. Just the fact that it's on pay-per-view, I can't see the baby faces losing this one. I mean, I just can't picture it in my head. Yeah. And you're coming up with all these great ideas with storylines and where it's headed, but sometimes you've got to go with your heart.
You do.
And it's served me well for the last 5 years because I've never done a punishment and never lost one of these. But I just can't imagine Wardlow and FTR not winning unless there is loads of interference and stuff like that. I think the interference might happen, but I think the baby faces are going to overcome it. Yeah. And it will just be a nice feel-good match. And then maybe they can still do those matches.
They can.
Even if they lose the six-man, I can't see the babyfaces not winning here. So I'm going with my heart, and I'm going for Team Babyface.
Lovely. Next, we have the Casino ladder match for a future AEW World title shot. We have Wheeler Yuta, Claudio Castagnoli, Rush Andrade, Phoenix, Penta, Dante Martin, and a mystery Joker man. Adam, who's your Joker man for a point? And who's your winner for a point as well? Oh, gyration.
W. Morrissey. We saw him back, didn't we? We saw him back last night. And he is not only is he going to be in that match, he's going to win it.
Oh,
he's going to win
need a ladder. He's that tall.
I think it'd be really, really nice for him. He's a guy that's overcome so much. I think he has a lot to give any company. But I'd really, really like to see him. I don't think he's going to win any world title match, but if you want to make him look amazing, you put him in the world title picture, even if it's just a one-off for now. I think W. Morrissey deserves it. I really, really like the guy, and I think there's so much talent in that match. There's plenty of chances to do that down the line. Let's give it to W. Morrissey now. And while people are so hot on him, because they really are. Who you got? Joker first.
So my Joker is actually also W. Morrissey too. I think obviously with him just debuting now, usually in these matches we have a monster as well, who like pulls off some mad spots and everything, and we don't have a monster really in that lineup at the moment. So I think that would be a good fit for W. Morrissey and like a big statement to make too for him to come out in such like a big match as well.
Yep.
But, and this is going to lead itself to something else down the line in the main event, I'm actually going to go for Dante Martin to pick up the win.
Oh, yeah.
I think we've got, so there's some people in there already. We've obviously got members of the BCC. We've also got Rush and Andrade and Phoenix and Penta in there too. So obviously they're warring. They don't like each other in the slightest. So they can keep themselves preoccupied. Maybe everybody does a spot to take Morrissey out of the equation because he's the big monster. He's like, he looks like the one who's going to get the win. And then Dante Martin, the sneaky little bugger, the sneaky little sod, he jumps onto a ladder, goes up whilst everyone's fighting, gets whatever it is, the casino chip or whatever it is.
Listen, it's often, if not always, the way in these matches where the monster is taken out in some massive spot and some little runt. Some little Andrew climbs the ladder and picks up the belt. So, well, not the belt in this case.
Yeah.
That's why I'm going for the big boy, because we see that too often. So the big boy's going to win it for once.
You go for the big boy, I go for little boy.
Next up, Christian Cage versus Jungle Boy. Who have you got in mind?
Oh, it's heated. It's heated, this one. And that's why I'm going to go for Jungle Boy to win.
Yeah.
Christian Cage has been saying some bad things about...
He's been too nasty. He's gone over the line. I've been offended as a wrestling fan because some of it sounded a bit real.
Some of it sounded very real. I wonder if Jungle Boy's mum gave Christian Christian Cage a call. Who knows? Yeah, I'm going to go for Jungle Boy. I think this one's been so heated that it just feels right for the babyface to get the win. However, you know, it could lead into something else down the line. Obviously, we've got Luchasaurus to factor into this as well.
Yeah.
I wonder if maybe he is faking it and he actually aligns himself with Christian Cage for reals is this time to take Jungle Boy out of the equation and then let Christian get the win. But my heart, as you were saying earlier, I'm going to go with my heart and I'm going to go for Jungle Boy to pick up that nice big babyface win.
Exactly the same. Christian has been too nasty to win, and Christian, at 72 years old, probably doesn't need a big pay-per-view win.
He doesn't.
Like this at the moment. I don't have a problem with Christian doing great stuff.
Yeah.
But Jungle Boy should win this. Jungle Boy will win this.
Next, for the AEW World Tag Team Championship match, we have Swerve and Our Glory, the champions, looking to defend their belts against... Put your fingers like this, Adam. The Acclaimed! One of them, the Acclaimed. Who are you going to go for?
Taking the Acclaimed on this one.
Yeah?
Yeah, I fancy a punt again, right? I think it's way more likely that Swerve and Our Glory are going to pick up the win on this one, but the Acclaimed are so ridiculously over.
Yes.
I think they're going to do a thing where it looks like them ass boys are going to ruin it for the Acclaimed, but the Acclaimed are still going to come out on top, and I think it's going to be a very popular result. As much as people like Swerve, as much as people like Keith, I'd really like to see the Acclaimed with some gold.
I would also like to see that happen too, but there's a but in this. I'm going to go for Swerve and Our Glory to retain the championships. They've not long won them, really, and it's one of them things again where we don't often see these people on TV too much. Like the AEW Tag Team Champions. What's going on here, Tony? What's happening? And I think they retain. I think it'd be a little bit silly to take it off them at the moment, but the Acclaimed are, as we were saying earlier with some other wrestlers too, they're so over right now. And I think you maybe want to finish your program with the Ass Boys first, and then start to build yourself back up once again. They are so over. I think taking a loss here wouldn't really do them any harm at all, especially if there's shenanigans involved to do so. And then finally we get them coming back up and getting those titles.
Is there something in the Ass Boys helping them to win the titles so that they can challenge what they view as two lesser men for the titles and pick up the gold themselves? That's just popped into my head.
And then try and get back in the good favours of Daddy as well. Of Daddy Ass. Oh, and then we can all scissor together. Oh my God! Oh, now you're the one. You're the one trying to.
Keith and Swerve are going to win.
Well, you're the one that's bringing me around on this, but I'm going to stick with Keith and Swerve because I've said it. It's on paper right there. But I think you have a good idea of what actually might happen.
Come on. Next up, Powerhouse Hobbs versus Ricky Starks. Who have you got and why?
Powerhouse, not Ricky Starks. Not Ricky Starks. What was that?
I really liked it. I thought it was erotic.
Thank you. Well, you know,
one more time, maybe?
Oh, whatever he does, like that, innit? Sexy. I'm gonna go, but Oh, even though recently we've seen QT Marshall in the factory beat up our boy Ricky Starks, and that would lead me to believe that you get the big babyface win. I don't think that's gonna happen. Another big old conspiracy thing for me in my head, a storyline that I have made up, is that Powerhouse Hobbs picks up the win here. Again, Ricky Starks on the back foot. Build him up once again. I like all this building up. There's so much building up in this.
Hands. They love it.
We've bloody built a city, haven't we? We've built a city with all this build-up I've been talking about. I think Powerhouse Hobbs picks up the win in this one and then eventually goes on to take the TNT Championship from Wardlow down the line, and then you can have a big match between Starks and Powerhouse Hobbs. Powerhouse Hobbs, throughout this whole storyline so far, has been talking about, you know, I've been helping Ricky Starks hold that championship, the FTW championship, for as long as he held it for, and now that he's lost it, and he's saying he doesn't care about losing it, then he's come in and absolutely battered his friend, right? So I think if you get Powerhouse Hobbs...
You're casting a spell.
Yeah, I am. Powerhouse Hobbs with the TNT championship, and then you have Ricky Starks beat him, and then also gain a championship in doing so too. I think that makes a more compelling main event star in Ricky Starks, if you get my drift.
I love how much thought you put into it.
I do.
I love
think
the
about
passion.
it too much.
Oh, it's brilliant.
Yeah?
I'm going Hobbs.
Okay.
Next.
Next, we have the TBS Women's Championship match between Jade Cargill, the champion, and Athena. I don't think you're gonna go for.
I'm really disappointed in how Athena has been booked. I thought she'd make a far bigger splash than she has. Again, that is not her fault. Sort it out, Toni. I'd love her to win this one, but it's Jade Cargill, and she's going to win, isn't she? Jade is picking up the win on this one and keeping hold of her belt. And I honestly don't know who takes that off her, but I don't think it's going to be Athena on Sunday night.
I don't think it's going to be Athena either. Like, nobody at the moment feels like they could do so. Maybe Chris Statlander at one point did feel like that, but unfortunately she's out with injury. And maybe when she comes back, we will see that happen. But on the pay-per-view, yeah, you're right. Like, there's just something just not been quite right about Athena in AEW. And again, that's not to her detriment at all. It's the booking of everything that's been going on. It's just felt really inconsequential and just lackluster.
The worst thing is, right, Athena could feel like that person to beat Jade Cargill. She could have been presented in a way that people would actually be really happy about that win and her picking up the gold. But at this stage, she isn't. She's not in that position, and it's a real shame.
I agree.
On you, again, Toni Khan.
Bloody idiot. I'm going for... I'm going for Jade Cargill as well.
Next up, the House of Black take on Miro, Darby Allin, and Sting. Who have you got and why?
It's Sting! Costing his teammates the match.
Oh, you've not done this.
I'm going
no,
mental. I'm going rental, everybody. We've seen the black mist on his eye for a long time now at this point, after Malakai Black spat in the face of that there legend man. And there's just something that doesn't do it for me anymore with Sting and Darby Allin. It's just a bit boring in my eyes, and House of Black desperately need a win. I think at this point that I feel really bad for them because they're such a good faction, and I think booking wise, maybe it is to play into a more long-term storyline down the line. So I think a really interesting thing to do would be to turn Sting heel, finally turn on Darby Allin and cost them the match, and then, oh my god, I'd love to see Sting in the House of Black. I think that would be a really cool visual. I think his face paint and everything could be different. I think it adds a new dynamic to the relationship between Darby Allin and Sting.
Unfortunately, the wrong man got misted. That was actually NWO Sting.
Oh!
So you don't have anything to worry about there.
Of course.
I'm taking House of Black as well. I don't see the Sting thing happening purely for boring business reasons, because I don't think Sting's got that much long left with the company. He'll probably sign a new deal, but my thought is that, like, Sting is way better as a babyface, and at this point in his career, do you want to see a heel run that might land, might not, or do you want to just milk the old cow dry. So, you know what? When you said it there, I was like, yeah, that could be really good.
But then?
I'm going to go House of Black.
When you were talking about that then as well, I just want to like sort of point out, it would be really cool to see Darby Allin and Sting. Maybe Darby Allin is Sting's last opponent. Maybe he does turn heel, and Darby Allin is the one to like properly retire Sting in a big match at the end. But that was just a thought that came into my head, but who knows what can happen. You're probably right in terms of the business side of things. So I'm still going to stick with House of Black.
I don't know, it could be money. It could be money.
It could be.
It's difficult for me to think of Sting as not a babyface because all of my favourite Sting moments and eras have been as Sting as a babyface. And not to say his heel work isn't good, I always think that Sting's a way better babyface, a very likeable man. But it could be interesting. It could be interesting. I'm still going House of Black.
Cool. And finally, we have the AEW World Championship match with CM Punk looking to regain the title in front of his hometown crowd of Chicago. Chicago! Against the dastardly AEW champion Jon Moxley. Is he dastardly? No, he said some home truths.
Yeah,
he said some home truths.
Like his book.
Yes.
Right, I'm not going to mention 3 letters as part of this because if I start mention, I'm not even going to say them in order with JFM. I'm not going to stop. I'm going to stand here for 40 minutes fantasy booking it. So for me, this is as simple as Jon Moxley defeated CM Punk in 3 minutes to make Moxley look good because Moxley is losing at the pay-per-view. I think it's that simple. Do you want to talk about FJM for a bit?
Don't do this to me because I will just go off for a long time. I think you're absolutely right. I think the reason that they did what they did on Dynamite the other week was to make Jon Moxley look strong in this. Do you want to keep him looking stronger, perhaps?
Personally, yes.
If you get MJF involved in this and we see a CM Punk heel turn, I think it's something personally that I want to see because AEW recently, with a lot of injuries that have happened and people being off TV, it's lost a little bit of the spice and it's lost a little bit of something that just used to make it special in my eyes a little bit. And I think maybe something as vicious as a CM Punk heel turn in Chicago, if it's even possible to do so, and the only way I can see that happening is if MJF gets involved and they align together somehow like an Austin Vince McMahon moment. I'm going to say CM Punk as well to win. It's going to seem like a big babyface thing, but then something else is going to happen. Maybe with MJF, hopefully with MJF, because it would be really cool to see. But yeah, I'm sticking with it. I'm going to say CM Punk, as you said, because we wanted to make Jon Moxley look strong before, but now it's the time of Punk, that dastardly little man. And then also, to tie it back around to what I said in the casino ladder match,
Make yourself a coffee.
Make yourself a coffee. You have Dante Martin winning that match. Big babyface guy going up against a big heel guy can absolutely just trounce him.
Yeah,
and then get
I like
even
that.
more heat. There we go. I tied it back
I
round.
like that a lot. I think it's very difficult to turn CM Punk heel in Chicago. I'd be excited and interested to see how that would pan out with the MJF stuff. We'll see. I have no idea, but I'm 99% that Jon Moxley's losing that match. I'm just not too sure how it's going to play out. And that's why it's exciting. It's going to be a very exciting match indeed. So that is it from us. You got to tune in. We got live reactions with just me because this lucky boy's going down. He's on his Ollie Bobs.
Oh, my Ollie Bobs.
To cover wrestling for his job.
Yay.
And you got me for the live reactions. Clash at the Castle on Saturday, late afternoon, early evening. And then, of course, you've got All Out, starting at midnight, I believe, the pre-show on Monday morning, Sunday night. You know how times work. What happened to that is coming. WTF is going to be a couple of days later this time around. But we've got loads of stuff, including interviews with talent, on-location videos. You're going to get to meet all of them?
I'm so excited.
Yeah. Bring Auntie back.
I'm sure.
Because they do touch you. They've got no personal boundary, no concept of personal space.
Oh. Yeah. Not that that doesn't bother me.
Yeah. Have fun. All right. See you in a bit.
Bye.